NERDSoul.
Oh, there we go.
You got me? You got me?
I got you. Yep.
Word. You get me?
All right. So this is Michael and Michael. Go ahead.
It's Mike in the evening.
Right.
All right, let's see.
And my son is choosing to be so active right now. All right. So we got, what up, Keith? What up, Tyrell? Trying to get the volume up on here.
Word.
Yep, got my volume all the way up. All right, looks like we're good right now.
Am I echoing?
All right, so this is Michael, and he is the host and showrunner for NERDSoul. And I'm Michael, the showrunner for Freestyle Komics and the lead artist on Hotshot the series. Co-created with by my brother Victor Danders and I. We put that together. And Miles.
Oh, what up?
Upstairs.
What up, Kevin?
Good morning. All right, Mike, go ahead.
All right, so you guys can hear me. I don't have any echo or anything, nothing crazy.
Yes, we can hear you. So you've read the entire series so far, correct?
Yes. So I've read Hotshot 0 to 8. And I've had a lot of fun, man. Like I gotta say, I just wanted to give you a shout for just completing all that work, because finishing a comic book is not easy. You know what I'm saying? That joint is not easy in the least. And not only did you finish one comic, you've now finished 10. So that's a lot of work. There's a lot of writing, a lot of inking, a lot of drawing, a lot of coloring, all that good stuff. And I've had a lot of fun, man. I've had a lot of fun reading it. And now I've read like 22 pages, I think, of the 27 or however many pages of issue 9.
All right. So, I approached Mike about doing this whole full examination of the Hotshot series so that we can discuss how the series has grown, the series' possible faults, the good things about the series, what did he enjoy, what didn't he enjoy. But in part, it was also to watch him as he reads the final 4 pages of issue 9 to see what kind of reaction he gets from the wrap-up of 10 issues. So what page are you reading it now?
Well, I'm about to start reading it now. So I'm I'm on page, 22. So it's like later that day. Let's see, what is he doing? All right. He goes back to EHD. He's talking to that dude that Dinah girl said was greasy. So I'm not sure how I feel about that dude. I thought he was kind of cool at first, and Vigilance is, maybe he's not cool no more. Hey.
All right.
Also, I don't know if we should be trusting this Remington dude either, but we'll see what goes on later on.
Okay.
All right, so Vigilance up in there. You know, Hotshot and Vigilance, I don't know what the age difference is, but I mean, that could work. I think that could work. They could respect for each other. I mean, I know he's in college, so let's say he's 20, something like that, I guess. Because I don't think, you never say his age, do you?
No, but he's around 21 at this time.
All right, cool. All right, EHD got their own little like danger room joint. And
what up, Kevin Smith?
Oh yeah. Good to see him here in the chat. Cool. I like the fact that he was like, yo, I gotta, I still gotta make sure that that I'm not being foul to you. It's just that, you mean so much to us. And, he's just kind of being cool with her. So I like that as well. And she was like, I respect that. I understand. So that's.
Now remember, when you get to the last page, you can't say what's on the last page. We just gotta get your reaction.
Say that. But I do love the splash page with them together when they're getting ready to fight in the danger room or whatever. I like that. Let's see. Cool. Leveling up, getting his power on. All right.
I don't know if you heard me, Mike.
There's a little part where she's like, Michael, I want you to keep calling me on mine. That's a little moment. He might be in there. I'm not sure if he's in there, but he might be in there. You know what I'm saying? Be like, girl, I just care about you. All right, let's see.
Now remember, you can't say anything about the last page. It's just your emotions.
I already know. Look, I can see the word bubble. Man, you better not. Let's see. Man. All right, hold on. Let me read this part. All right. Man, this. This is okay. I'm finished. This is good and bad at the same time. Especially since, and well, man, see, I can't say anything really. So, but I mean, this is going to be very interesting. Considering how much the public already trusts a certain person.
Okay.
And this might be even, man, it might be even tougher for Hotshot and Vigilance going forward. I think that's the best.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm reading issue 9, Tyrell, not sure. But
yeah, he's reading issue 9.
Yeah. So it's good to see this, but I'm a little mad. I don't know. I think it's a good thing in general because see, I can't talk about it because nobody else has read it. So I think trying to think of how to word it. I think it's good as far as what we plan to do or what you guys plan to do going forward, because what you guys are planning to do, Vigilance and with Hotshot. But I do like their dynamic. But I'm not sleeping on Donna Girl either, even though Donna Girl, she ain't no sister. So, but Donna Girl's cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad. All the non-sisters out there, I'm not hating. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Vigilance, look, Vigilance is probably my favorite book. Hotshot is coming up close because Hotshot made me care early on, even though I think he needed to quit school and all that. You don't need just be a hero, man. Be a hero.
Right.
But yeah, issue 9, I like it. It's gonna make some people upset, rightfully so. But I think that's why you guys did it. I do think it sets up a long-term situation. I think that's the best.
Yeah.
To say. It sets up a long-term situation on in a physical way and also in a systematic way as well, because you're going to be dealing with 2 threats really, and maybe a third if PhD dude isn't all that. So we'll see on that. Logging into the chat. Right. No, it was not. It was not expected. I didn't even, huh? Like, I didn't even know until I saw the words. When I saw the words, then I was like, man, but but I'm glad that this kind of helps someone's situation, it helps someone stay in a certain place. And then it also, so it sort of, kind of, man, because I don't want to say it helps someone as far as what their future will be and how they feel, I guess. Yeah. And then also it provides uh, a very interesting long term situation dealing with, of course, your boy Hotshot. I did.
Shout out Victor Danders just joined the chat.
Oh, where Carrie? Oh, Carrie's in the house. All right, cool. But it's I'm very interested to see what goes on with the dude with the white fade.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I'm ready to see. I guess I can't really talk about that either, but I'm ready to see some learning. I guess that's the best way I can say it. Like, I'm ready to see.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right in regards to we're setting up the long haul. What's going to be happening with Mike and Hotshot is pretty much a lot of the stuff that we've been building up to, which is what I've dubbed the calamity of Hotshot. So he is about to go through it in all shapes and turns. He's seen some success in the series, like the adventure with Diner Girl, and getting comfortable with where he's at, and trying to move on from the whole Carla situation finally, and accepting that he's a hero, and that's a bigger responsibility. But shout out Carmen Watson. My wife is in the video watching. But what would you say? How would you say the series progressed from issue 1 to issue 9, production wise?
Production wise, I'd say that the series got better as far as like the I guess like the kind of like inking was because you had different inkers going on, but I feel like you guys got in your groove right around issue 3 or 0. I feel like you guys started getting in a groove, and then you could see that you hit another stride around like issue 7. Of course, well, I already said it in, I guess, my review, my first or second review. There's some model issues with Carla, because I was like, is she white? Is she a sister? Is she like, because it was like, but it might have been just who was coloring her. I don't know. But Carla was, but then Carla, and she was looking kind of weird, but then Carla was looking good later on. So I was like, oh, all right, word. So, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, Carla ain't all that. Then I was like, hold up, Carla, what's up? But she ain't no vigilance. She ain't no vigilance. Vigilance, my girl. Mm-hmm. She's too fly, and she be doing her thing, man. She's super strong, super fine. Like, you can't beat that. So I mean, when it comes to his situation with the ladies, I prefer vigilance than and Maria, don't sleep, because Maria, I thought she was gonna flip it on him real quick. I thought she was gonna be like, well, I'm glad that's over because I've always wanted you or something. I was like, what? But then but right. I think production wise, it's definitely gone up. It's definitely like you guys hit a stride around 3, and then another one like right at 6 or 7, where I think it was 7, because that was the one with Diner Girl, and you had like that big splash page with Rift, and there was all the characters all around. That was really like just well done. So I was like, wow, okay, it's hitting another skill level or whatever, another style bump. And I was just like, cool. The splash pages have always been very good. Like the one where Void is holding Vigilance's neck, and he's like hitting him with a power blast.
Oh no, we lost Mike. We lost him. He was right in the middle of something. I'll just wait here until we try to get him back. But oh, there he goes. We'll send out that invite again. All right. So if any of you guys who've read the Hotshot series, I'm looking at comments. Okay. When I look down here, I'm looking at the comments as they come up live. If you guys got any questions, go right ahead and shoot them out to me, and I'll shout them out. Tyrell, you're gonna have to wait and see to the new issues. I don't know who's back. I'm lying. I obviously do know who's back. I drew the issue. But to come on, we're saying, Michael, with Carla, the actual drawing and design of Carla was a very long process of trying to get comfortable with the style, with the hair, and make her look unique in the book. So that was very hard drawing it and whatnot. And I've always been known to draw women with a harder edge, and I was trying to soften it up as much as I could. Women are one of the weak things that I'm weak at in drawing.
Like, I actually don't mind the harder. It's kind of cool in like issues 3 or so, where she had like a very kind of like Alye Garza kind of feel to her.
Okay.
And I thought it was pretty dope.
Cool. So another question. As far as production value, let's just...
Yeah. Oh, I said BC to James.
Okay. How do you think the pacing and the progress of the story is going over these 10 issues, where we have moments where we spend time with certain characters, we switch off to another story, and we come back and touch on some issues? How do you think the storytelling with the character development has been going for the series?
Now, that's something that I actually thought was spot on the whole time. That's what hooked me the most, because at the first couple of issues where I was like, hey, I'm not really sure if I'm digging the art yet or not. And I was like, because there would be pages that were like straight dope, and then there would be other pages where it's like, maybe it was a deadline or rushed or whatever, but the story was always there. Like, the first thing that I connected with was Michael. Now, of course, my name is Michael, so maybe that helps. The first thing I connected with was just him kind of like living his life, trying to figure out what he wants to be. Does he want to go all in on this superhero thing? Does he want to stay with Carla? And it gave me you humanized him and kind of ingratiated him with me. So that's what really kind of like, I guess, ushered me into the story in a very easy way. So the story was always done well, in my opinion. Especially when it comes to like dealing with the school, dealing with his teachers. And then also the thing that I really loved, and you guys will see the reviews. I got 2 more videos coming up this evening of issue 6 and then issue 7 and 8. I really love the issue where you dealt with just the first responders and the cleanup. I think that's something that we don't really get to see a lot of. And I think it was nice. It was a nice touch, because a lot of times we just watch the movies, we watch the shows, and it's like, oh, something got blown up, they crashed some cars or whatever, no big deal. And it was nice to see kind of like us slow down for a second and see that people actually have to deal with stuff. People actually have to, the same people have to put out the fires, they have to put people in the ambulance, whatever. So I really enjoyed that. I appreciate it a lot. Like, for a whole issue to be about that, I thought it was cool.
Well, shout out again to Victor Dandridge, because like I said, Victor really rewrote the whole story for me. I had a story of where I was going with Hotshot. Vic offered to look it over for me, and he rewrote the entire thing into like this lesson book to teach me how to write. And so I looked at it, I took it. I mean, it was super detailed, and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. But as I'm reading through all these lessons that he gave me and how he's teaching me how to build character, pacing story, when to rise the action, when to slow it down, all I saw was the story that he wrote. So I was like, man, this is really, really good, and I appreciate it. But thank you for giving me your resume to writing the story. So let's just take the script out of here. You were going to write Hotshot, and that's what we're gonna do. A lot of the word, a lot of the world building came from Victor. So he created a lot of the stuff that we're using now in the Hotshot books. A lot of the foundation that we're building upon. So he's very good at giving you a lot of action and knowing when to slow it down. And we're big fans of comic books ourselves. So a lot of these things that we try to do in our books are things that we notice other comics weren't doing.
True. Yeah. So big shout out to Victor for that one, because I've enjoyed this. The characters seem real. Also, the characters make you feel a certain way. Whether like I'm mad at Carla. Well, you elicit, as long as you're able to elicit a response. Well, for artists out there, don't elicit a response just for the sake of, but no, because there's some artists out there that do something just to get a negative response. But when you elicit a response, like, I'm mad at Hotshot for trying to juggle school and all this stuff. I'm mad at Hotshot because why even make an appointment when you know you can't keep it? Or I'm mad with Carla because she needs to understand now that this guy's life is on the line all the time, and maybe it's not always about you. But then also understanding that, hey, he did keep this from her, and that's something that women take very, very seriously, especially when Maria, and she thought that Maria was the girl he was cheating with anyway, and that doesn't really help. So it's stuff like that that kind of like helps, support the action that's going on, because that was a serious fight in issues 4 and 5. And you're just, God, like they're really going at it, and I guess maybe the fact that they're still kind of he knows what he's doing, but he's not there yet, and I think that's what helps you pull for him a little bit more, especially since he's not all the way there yet. Even though he did go Super Saiyan for a second, like in issue 3 or something like that, can't remember, but he did his thing.
It was issue 2. All right. Okay. So, what was your favorite issue?
I would have to say maybe have to be between probably 4 and 5, but only because everything built to that. Everything built like, okay, here's the showdown. Especially when I think 4 starts up with like Void straight kills a dude, like in Vegas or something. Void just straight murders a dude. And it's like, yo, so like you guys went a long way to prove that this guy is a real threat. And there's only like people that can deal with him. And even they're having a problem with him, battling him at the same time. So that's, I probably say 4 and 5, but only because, we got the buildup that we needed. And I like that you guys took your time to like make the fight happen. Because I know a lot of writers out there that would have tried to make that fight happen in like 3 issues. Or would have tried to make that fight happen in 2 issues. They would have been like, here's issue number 1, here's issue number 2. And there's like this crazy fight. But you guys spent time dealing with like how Carla feels, how he feels about Carla, how Vigilance feels, their relationship, him going to school. So that all kind of built up to like, wow, this is for all the marbles. And I really liked, if I had to say between 4 and 5, I'd probably say 5, because we did the resolution as well. But yeah, the issues were serious when it came to like just all of the emotion and all of the, you're pulling for Hotshot to kind of win. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not winning at school, he's not winning with his girl, he's sort of not winning with the heroics. It's like you just, by that time you're like, I want him to win. So yeah, probably have to say 4 or 5. Yeah.
That is pretty excellent, because that is the feeling that we want you to have. That like all these things are stacked against him. He's losing here, he's losing over there. He puts on the costume. Let's get this damn win, Hotshot. Let's knock this one out the park, man. You need one.
Just one.
Right, right. So I think that's great that you picked up on that. I've been watching the reviews that you've been putting up of the books as you've been breaking them down. I really appreciate the fact that you've gone completely honest on them. And I love how you were so honest and genuine in that first video. And, you know, you had a lot of issues with the first 2 issues. You had some things that bothered you, the drawing, the anatomy, the inconsistencies that we have in those first 2 issues or whatnot. You pointed those things out. And then when we got the third issue, your second video, your opening moment was, I'm loving Hotshot. And then your theme music came on. Like that just had me so amped because it's like, yes, we're converting him. Would you say, as a comic book fan, picking up an indie title, you enjoyed reading multiple issues of the same series and having so many of them?
Mm-hmm. I have to say, yeah, because I like to get a chance to, because the first 2 issues, you might not be digging them, but the story grabbed me. So I was like, let me stick around and figure this out. And then, of course, the levels kept going. And then when you guys did the silent issue, that's what got me. Like the just straight images, I was like, wow, they told a good story. They didn't say anything. There was just one text message in the whole thing. And I was like, so now these guys are not only starting to pick up their stride, because like issue 3 is where you were like, okay, we kind of got this. We kind of got this going. And like, then you got better in 3. And then in 0, you were like, okay, we got so much better. Let's do an issue with no dialogue. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I had to give you guys props for just the cockiness or the confidence of like, you know what, we're so good now. We're going to give you an issue with no dialogue. See how you like this. And I was just like, wow. I was impressed when I got to the second page. I was like, oh, there's no dialogue. Cool. And I really enjoyed it, man. I like that one won me over. That's when I was like, I love Hotshot. So yeah.
All right, that's what's up. That actually just stemmed from Victor and I's love of when Marvel Comics used to do once a year the Nuff Said issues. We thought those were just like the best issues. We really enjoyed those, and we wanted to pay homage to that, and just give the reader that connection to Carla, so you can see her side. Because a lot of people, they don't dig Carla. They don't see it from Carla's perspective, which is fine. I like to always point out, Carla is super legitimate in what she says and how she feels and how she expresses her feelings.
It's like she has a point, but I think she needs to reel it in a little bit when you're dealing with someone. Like, you're not being blown off because he wants to go play Madden at his friend's house. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the only part I differ with her. It's like, I definitely understand he should have told you earlier, but now that you know that the situation is a little more dire than him just like, he's not with another girl. He's not just hanging out with some friends. He's not blowing you off for anything. And actually, if he wasn't who he was, you wouldn't be alive to be mad at him right now. So you kind of got to give him some props.
She has to give him some props to a certain degree. But take, for example, issue 7? Yeah, issue 7, when she's waiting at his dorm room that entire time for him, and he's out with Dinah Girl. It's not like he was out with Dinah Girl and they were fighting and they just saved the day. After they beat Dragoness, they went and kicked it. They got juice boxes. They're chilling on the Statue of Liberty. The paparazzi caught pictures of them coming out of Starbucks. So she's waiting this whole time, like, to a degree. She's like, all right, I can accept this. He's a superhero. I get it now. I want to move past it. Yeah. But he out here kicking it with these superheroes. Now, you let me think that you was cheating on me to cover this up. But you still out here with these scantily clad superhero chicks. Dinah Girl was thick, man.
Like, all right, on the real, let me go on and put a message out there. Fellas, don't let your lady see you with another one having fun. Like, straight up, like, the worst thing you can do is have fun with another woman. That's any fun. I don't care what it is. If you if you're giggling and smiling with another woman, it's over, son. It's over. You're gonna have to have a talk at the end of the day.
Right.
So she was right on that one, and she slammed the door on him. She slammed the door on him. So she was like, "It's over, bad. Like, you can't break up with me. I'm breaking up with you."
So it's a lot to process, and a lot for her to have to accept and get adjusted to when she was cut out from it the entire time. And if you go back to issue 3, he still really didn't tell her everything. He was just telling her bits and pieces to try to satisfy her, but he wasn't giving her the whole story. So he keeps digging his own hole.
Yeah. And I don't know, because it's not like he's a bad dude. So I don't know why he has to hide it so much now that she knows. Because it's not like he's out there doing dirt, because he's not. So I don't know. Maybe, who knows, man? I don't know. Maybe just the pressure of powers and stuff. I don't know. But she was like, "No, you didn't give me the great power." Yo, man, he had to drop the great power line. All right, he had to drop that joint. I'm out here saving people. Oh, you wait until my review come up. Because when my review, when I load it up, I'm like, I'm out here saving people. I'm saving people for you. I'm out here doing this for us.
And for me, and I am going to speak for Victor a bit here too, but that is the best part, when you start to craft these characters and people start to get behind them. My brother Ren cannot stand Carla. He hates her. He does not care what perspective I explain it from or how much she's invested in. He does not care. He dislikes her. But to watch your reviews and see you really get behind the story and how it's progressing, ask these questions and really try to like analyze, well, you can't really be mad at him because he's out here doing this, or you brought up a very good point. You'd be dead right now if he wasn't a superhero and just saved your life. So there's definitely back and forth for both of them.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm glad they're gonna figure their way out and not be together, but it's it's kind of like, yo, you got to get a man props. He's saving people. You know what I'm saying? He's saving people. Like, dude's a hero. And what you gonna do?
Well, Vic brought up a point that even in that fight with Void, he still didn't even win the fight against Void. Vigilance did.
Yeah, and he brings that up. Does he bring it up with Dinah Girl? Who does he bring it up? Or did he bring it up in this? Oh, well, never mind. I don't know if he brought it up in. I can't remember when he brought it up. So let me take that back. But yeah, it's like, I like that though. The thing that I like is that Vigilance came in and helped him, and he never felt like he was less than for needing help, and he never made her feel bad or like she wasn't needed when she was there, and she never treated him like he's beneath her. I like that dynamic. They're just heroes that respect each other. And I think that's like a great dynamic for them to have, because there's a lot of heroes out there that can be like, I don't need no help. Batman, for one. Batman would have been like, I don't need no help. I got this. Batman could be like, he would have like one limb left and he'd be like, I don't need your help. You know what I'm saying? But she comes in and he's like glad that she's there to help, and she doesn't make him feel bad for needing it. And I think that's true teamwork, and I think that's dope, man. That really strikes a chord in me where I'm like, wow, it's cool to see heroes not have to be insecure about something.
Yeah. Awesome. Shout out to Tyrell. He said the first issue that he read was the news issue, which I believe that is issue, if we're talking about the same one, is issue 6 of Hotshot. That's what got him in there. Shout out to Dirk Manning, Kickstarter crusher, just got into the little video chat. Congratulations, buddy. Guys, make sure you swing on over and check out that Mr. Reed Volume 4 Kickstarter. I'm actually going to put a little link for it in there for you to save you some trouble. But go check it out. We're working on a special book, web comic, a digital comic for Dirk in that book that will go to print. But there's a bunch of free, awesome swag that he's giving away with it, as long as you guys keep donating. So donate. So, Mike, do you have any questions for me that you want to ask about the series?
Well, before I ask any questions, I'd just like to say that I'm still looking at a panel that no one else has seen at the end of issue 9. And I'm like, you mother? No. But when it comes to, I guess when it comes to Hotshot, when it comes to Vigilance, how did all of this stuff just start? Were you just like, you know what, it's time for me to make a comic? Or did you kind of have these ideas swirling since you were younger? Or was it kind of like an offshoot of a project that ended up getting scrapped and these are like the best parts of, you know, how did Hotshot, or the Hotshot verse, because you got Heroes International, you got Emerald, even though Emerald Quest is Emerald Quest part of, no, they're not part of
No, it is. Emerald Quest is a part of the Hotshot verse.
I thought they were separate for whatever reason. But all right, never mind. So you got Emerald Quest, you got all that stuff. Where did it start? Like, who was the first hero that you were like, okay, now I'm gonna build around this person?
Oh wow, this is gonna sound real cocky and selfish, but it was me. My friends and I in high school. I turned all my friends into comic book characters. We all had superpowers, but we didn't have superhero costumes, and we were just like defending our high school, and we were called Youth Force. And so we made these little comics featuring us doing, you know, spectacular stuff. And then when I went off to college, the Columbus College of Art and Design, I started working on my character more and giving him a costume and stuff. And Victor be the first one to attest to how secretive and how close I kept Hotshot to me. And I would, like, if I let somebody see it, I'd be hovering over their shoulder like, all right, you can get that back now. You done with it yet? Vic took a liking to it, and he wanted to see it. Actually, I don't know why I trusted the guy, but I did. It was just something about him, like, this dude is cool. I can handle my stuff, and nothing bad. Straight Gollum. Nothing bad will come of it. And so that's when I gave him the story that I had written so far, some of the artwork to look over and stuff. And he wrote me that fantastic book, literature, that was supposed to educate me on how to write. And I just educated myself to a writer for 7 issues or 6 issues.
So that's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So since I guess when you're creating all these, you know, because I haven't seen any Vigilance in a while. So when you're creating all
you'll be getting that.
Oh, all right, cool. So
yeah,
which ones do you decide when to give, you know, the time to, the energy to, you know, whether it's Emerald Quest or Heroes International or Hotshot or Vigilance? When do you decide, okay, let me put this character down? You know, is it after like a few issues, or when you're like, all right, I got a great storyline that would do well in Emerald Quest, or I have something great that would go in Heroes International? You know, how does that work out?
That is a hefty process. Luckily for me, I work with some amazing people. Number one, Danny Cooper. He's my editor for Hotshot, Heroes International, and Vigilance. I am pretty much on the phone or in chat with Danny every single day. And he has a very well understanding of what's going to happen with the world of Hotshot, Vigilance, and Heroes. And then I got Ethan, and he's writing Heroes International. And so Ethan and I talked for a couple hours, and just in a couple hours, Ethan and I gelled like immediately, and we were able to figure out where we want to take Heroes on the next story arc for it, to integrate it.
Okay.
So that's Ethan Murphy, sorry. And then Alvin Ball for Vigilance. So overall, I have these ideas and plot points that I want the books to go to, because we are leading up to something big. not like something every season, but we have this one big event that we're building up to that'll involve all the three main books or whatnot. And I shoot these ideas out with Danny. I'll even hit up Victor still and go over some of the ideas. And then, you know, Ethan and Alvern, I'll say, hey, this is what I need to happen. This is where we need to be. And we'll get on Skype, or we'll be in the chat, or we'll be on the phone for a couple hours, and we'll flesh it out. So a lot of the ideas come at the same time. Emerald Quest, I've been working on that one just as long as I've been working on Hotshot, so it's all the way back to college. And I'm just pretty inspired by Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, X-Men, and I know I just too. Thank you. I just want to do some big epic fantasy magic sword play, women of power type of stuff with Emerald Quest. So I have Hotshot plotted loosely up to 100 issues. Emerald Quest is going to be a mega series, which is only going to be like around 30 issues or whatnot. So I know where these stories, I want them to end and finish, and it's just a matter of getting there. And I just have the privilege and luck of working with some of the best talent in indie creation. I don't know how I got that lucky, but it started with Vic, and it's rolled all over to Carrie Kelly, to Alvern, to Ethan, to Danny, to Veronica, to Gary, you know, Edder, to a ton of people, Anna D'Amico, and, you know, I got Scott Simmons coming over to draw one of our books for us. James P.A. is taking over Emerald Quest for us. So I've gotten really lucky with some of the people that I've worked with, which makes it easier for me to get these ideas and get these plans out here. But I also try very hard to put myself around people that won't just be yes men and yes women. They'll actually, you know, say, I don't think that works, or how about we try from this direction? You might be short-sighted on some things or whatnot. And, you know, you got to have that in creation, because like every idea I come up with is not a winner, and they need to be fleshed out more. And so I get real excited, man. I'll just get on Facebook Live and be like, oh my God, I'm making comics. And, you know, I wouldn't even think like, what's the ramifications of that? So it's a hefty process. We are in constant communication with one another.
All right, cool. I don't know if you guys have ever thought of this. Maybe you have. Will we ever get a look at what Justice went through in the moments before everything was over? Like, will we ever get like a 4-issue, like, this is what happened to Justice? Or is it better that we just leave it alone? It's like Justice is that iconic hero that we always remember greatly, and never, because sometimes when you pull the curtain back, it's not always all that it is. So maybe I'm asking for something that I don't really want. But you know, everybody talks about Justice in such a, it would be nice to see him, I think.
Well, I will say we are going to pull the curtain back on that, and it will be just as good, if not better. We're actually working on the Zero event, so we can show you aspects of that and what went on going there. Very, very, very excited about that. I just rounded up a pretty sweet deal that I'm not ready to announce yet, because we're still working out the details of it. But it's going to be pretty cool. Like, I'm super excited about it. And yeah, so we are going to answer that, because we believe that you do get a lot of things of like how important Justice is to Mike and Hotshot, that he is this iconic hero. He's had effect on Vigilance. He was a part of Heroes International back in the day, prior to the Zero event. So we have to show some relevance of that. We need to show it. We need to showcase it. We really didn't want to go through traditional storytelling methods of putting everything, starting at the number one issue, and giving you all the beginning. We wanted to throw people smack dab in the middle and just start taking you through a jaunted line of left and right and up and down to start piecing these things together or whatnot. And right now is the perfect time to go into those elements of Justice and what the Zero event may have been.
Cool. Yeah, man, because Justice is, you know, they've talked about him so much. I feel like his story should be told in a certain type of way. Now, on the business side of things, like when it comes to actually putting your comic book together, I know some of these people reading may know, but for those that are watching and don't know, what's the process of actually taking a comic book from this is a cool idea to it's finished?
Oh, I'm sorry. My partner is agreeing. I'll answer that question, but he's agreeing to go ahead and announce it. So we are going to be telling the Zero event in a 3-part story arc, solo, collected into a trade. It will be written by Victor Dandridge. So he will be returning to the world of Hotshot to tell the story of the Zero event. And I am going to be penciling some goodness for him. It's a prelude issue for the Samaritan for Ventures in House Productions. So that's a little arrangement that we made, and that's what's happening. So that's why I said the Zero event is going to be real good, man.
I'm glad, man. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, so all right,
with
repeat the last part of the question.
So with the creation, how would someone take it from idea to it's printed?
Oh, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. Like, you just got to set your mind to it and make it happen. Whether it's you doing all of it, like a buddy of mine, Mason Easley, he does the entire comic book production. I applaud him for that effort. I could not do it. I die. But if you're just doing one aspect of it, like for me, I do the drawing and I do plotting and whatnot. But I was lucky to have met Victor, who helped me get the first 6 issues off the ground and whatnot by doing the writing in that and creating a nice little foundation for us to build this entire Hotshot verse from. You've got to make the book, you got to do the work, and you must seek out like-minded individuals to help you make it happen. So I know it's possible for me to do everything, but if I did everything, would I be giving the best possible product? And no, I wouldn't. So I do have to reach out and put together what I like to dub the dream team of indie creation when it comes to these comic books. I'm very proud of the people that I work with. Like, they're fantastic.
Yeah,
so
I mean, the Free Comics team, like, big shouts to all of you guys, because I've reviewed, I've reviewed a couple of, I think I reviewed just about everything now that you guys have done.
Yeah, you have.
At least, and I've enjoyed it all. My least favorite would probably be, I really like Emerald, probably Heroes International, but I think it's because I'm not really gravitating to those characters just yet. But who knows? That might change in the future. But I still enjoyed because their book was fun. Like, because you had a lot of these guys that were just like goofballs trying to make things work. So I enjoyed that part about it. Emerald Quest was just, the art was just crazy for me. And plus, you had the sisters on there with the hairstyles. That was right up my then, Hotshot. Well, Vigilance, I think I did first. And I was like, man, there's only 2. I'm like, this all you got? I'm like, where's the rest? I'm like, where's the rest of this? And then when you told me about Hotshot, I was like, I don't want nobody new. I want Vigilance. And I was like, you know what? Hotshot's pretty cool. All right, I can deal with him. All right, cool, no doubt. And now he's one of my favorite new guys, man. I really enjoy him. So yeah, like Vigilance, that's awesome. Still my favorite. And then I'll give it the Hotshot after that. I did have a question because it's probably in the comic, but I just missed it somewhere. What's the 99 for?
Actually, we have not specifically explained what that means yet. We give a hint.
Oh, okay.
It's in issue
did I miss it?
7. It's a super subtle hint in issue 7. Everywhere Man's son, Ripple, and on the first page is wearing a jacket that says 99, never forget. That's supposed to be our clicking connection to that's the year the Zero event happened.
Okay.
There's a whole nother reason he wears it, but he wears it for that reason, and there's another one, but we are going to reveal that coming up. We try to keep a little bit of it because we want you guys to keep coming back. But
yeah, because I was like,
question for you.
Looking at it, I'm like, what's the for? But it is
a question for you, because I know you do love her, and we can talk about it for a little bit, because you will be we're still editing that and finishing it up. But what do you think was going on with Vigilance in issue 5 of Hotshot? What's your theory?
Well, in my review that I haven't uploaded yet, but I referenced issue 2 of Vigilance because the same thing happens where she gets that purple stuff on her and she gets like super strong. And the lady talks about like, she's like, you're the Lord of Dark. What up? What did she say? Says something like you're the Lord of Darkness, or you got the dark strength, or whatever. Whatever she said, something like that. But I watched it, so I put it in the video. But I'm assuming from whatever planet she came from, originally, because remember when she crashes, well, of course you remember because you wrote it, but when she crashes, she's like an amnesiac or whatever, so she don't remember that. And I'm assuming back in the day before she lost her memory, she was probably one of those like devourer of worlds or something like that. Oh yeah, she calls her the destroyer. Yeah, that's what she calls her.
Right.
These are some dope fight scenes. Cause see, like her eyes are yellow, then she trips out and they go purple. So like, like she's on some evil stuff. It's kind of like Evil Ryu or something. And like then she's kind of cool after that. But yeah, it's I don't know where it comes from. I'm assuming it's comics. It could be, maybe she was created to be a destroyer. I don't know. Maybe, she was born with like, to be, some type of, weapon or something like that. But she's at least keeping it under wraps for now. And she's keeping it controlled to a certain degree. I don't know how well she's going to be keeping it, but, she's doing all right now.
Well, I'm very excited once we get done with all the books, because I will be tossing you Visions #3, Heroes International #3, Emerald Quest #2 once those are completed. So I'm very excited to see what your response is going to be to those. I know you being a big fan of Vigilance, I'm very, very curious to find out what you think of where we're taking her, like what your feelings will be on that. But I did see hard. What'd you say?
Oh, her exact words are, "What power you truly live up to your reputation as the destroyer." So apparently, Vigilance, before she, bumped her head or whatever, and Justice, saved her, she was probably not a nice person, and she might have to come to grips with. Most likely, when she tripped out, she did not mind punching all through Void's stomach. So, like, she might have some skeletons in her closet.
Most definitely. Well, of course, we will begin to reveal things in the newest issue. Got more comments coming in? No. So that is kind of like all I have right now. I can't. There's nothing else I really could think of to ask. I'm happy. Steal that #1 slot from her, but I really appreciate your genuine honesty in reviewing the series. Like, it's extremely helpful. I want more people to be like that. Like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings by being honest. It creates a great dialogue, like the one we're having right now.
Yeah, and well, when I review, like, when I review something, I let people know, like, I'm not going to review it unless I like it to some degree. because I'm not here to just trash stuff. Like, I figure the internet has enough negativity and enough people trashing things. I'm here to celebrate the culture that we're in, celebrate sci-fi, celebrate comics, celebrate heroes, celebrate villains, just the fun stuff that we like to read and enjoy that takes us to these fantastical worlds. And I feel like my time would be best spent enjoying something and letting people know what I enjoy, even if I'm like mad about something, like I did the Star Wars Rebels joint, where I still can't stand Ezra, but I still like the show. So it's like, hey, we talk about the show, and I hate him. So it's like, but yeah, man, I took it on because I like the art, then I like the story. Because if I read it and I didn't dig it, I would have just been like, I can't review it. I don't want to, because I don't want to trash someone's stuff just for the sake of doing it. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm feeling certain points and not feeling other points, then I feel that's a fair review. So yeah, that's how I roll.
Well, I can really appreciate that. I'm glad we got you out here in geekdom doing all these reviews. I look forward to seeing the final 2 reviews on issue 6, 7, and 8. I really want to thank you for being on this episode with us tonight, talking about it, reading the issue live so we can experience that. Shout out to NERDSoul. Good looking out. You want to shout out?
Not really be able to say anything about it. It's like, so you can see me get mad, and now I can't say anything about it. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, man, I'm like, come on, man. But I with that said, I want to see what happens, because we need to put this issue to bed. Put this to bed. Squash it. Squash it. You're done, son. You're done. You're axed. You're out of here, son. You're done. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even talk about it. Oh, man. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I guess before we bounce, for all of my viewers watching this on the replay, where can they get Freestyle Comics?
Oh, you can get it off of the Freestyle Comics Facebook page. You go through the store, or the Short Fuse Media store page on their website or on their Facebook page. So a couple different places you can get it. They'll lead you all to the same area, try to make it easy for you. Right now, all of the Hotshot books are up, and Vigilance and Heroes International will be released a little bit later this year for the online distribution, because we have some other things that we'll be doing with both of those books coming out this year.
Cool. And for anybody watching, I'll make sure that I put the links down below so you can see them. You can go there, buy it. It'll be easy and all that good stuff. I guess for any of your viewers that have never ever seen me, you can find me on YouTube. Just search NERDSoul, one word, NERDSoul. I cover like Star Wars, Star Trek Discovery, a whole bunch of comics. Right now I'm reviewing Black. I'm doing a read-along of Black and the Soul. I'm also going to be reading some SFC from Marcel Dupree. Reviewing movies, pretty much anything that might be like in the theater or on Netflix as well, because they have their original stuff coming out. So you can find me there, or you can tweet at me at OneYoungsta, which is ONEYOUNGSTA. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Pretty much it.
All right, cool beans. Well, thank you for being on the show with me tonight. Thank you for everybody that tuned in with your questions and comments. Appreciate the support. There are no spoilers, Tyrell. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this session up. I'll download the video and give it to Michael for NERDSoul to post up on the YouTube page, and you can always catch the replay on my Facebook page as well. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and good night, everybody. Thank you, Michael of NERDSoul.
Peace.
It's all in the day's work, all in my day's work. I told y'all I do work.